elected a pope who's got an IQ of 145.
They should send JD Vance off again and might be able to
Give
kill
him,
off
give
another
him,
one.
give him another
Because
treatment.
the far right hates him.
I think JD Vance bored the other one to death.
Qualifying him as a person who correlates quite well with it.
There is a significant overlap of the Venn diagram, yes.
It's like everything that man touches. It's kind of hilarious.
I'm actually not one of those who says that JD Vance bored him to death. I'm the one who says that he said he knew he was dying, and he said, right, get JD Vance in here. I've got one thing left to do. Tell JD Vance he's a tool. I can now die happy.
I'm just looking forward to JD Vance's attempt to be the president.
And the entire rant is just gesticulations and crude Polish.
No,
Because
right.
that's
You said
that's all
He's
that's
hated.
needed.
No, it wouldn't be crude
I'm not
Polish,
talking about
crude
the president,
well,
I'm
Spanish.
just talking about the candidacy.
Crude word. Oh yes, I'm thinking of the wrong pope. aren't I? What
No,
the hell
he
am I
won't- he
thinking?
won't-
What decade is it?
You're thinking 2 popes
He
ago.
will
What
not.
decade
He
is
will
it,
not.
Sonny? What's happening?
I know it is, but he will not get the candidacy because everyone hates him.
Oh no, he'll get the candidacy. And then he will get absolutely torn to pieces by his own side.
There is a time
Who are we
when I would
talking
have
about?
agreed with
JD
you
Vance.
two, but the last
Oh.
presidential election has soured me. I no longer believe in the light of human decency.
Trump-
It is dead and
There's too many
buried.
other people who want to jump after Trump's gone who are actually competent.
Yeah, but right now,
At least for stabbing people in the
if
back.
Trump carks it during his current presidency, then
Which he's working very hard to do.
then it just goes to JD Vance by
Yeah.
default. There's nothing, no way to change that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, you're quite right. If for some reason Trump gets voted out somehow, even
Vance
though-
is gone.
then there's no way the Republican Party is going to nominate JD Vance as the leader of the Republican Party. There's no way on God's
Actually,
green earth that's
I
happening.
don't know who the Republican Party would nominate because
They
they're,
don't actually have
they're
one.
act- the funny thing is people don't realise this, but people say how much disarray the Democrat Party's in.
Oh,
The Republican Party's in complete
the
disarray.
Republican Party doesn't exist anymore. It's been destroyed.
I actually do feel kind of sorry for the sane Republicans, although there's a smaller
Oh,
and smaller
but,
number of those.
yeah, if they've got any brains, they would have left by now.
Okay.
Okay, so it is Wednesday the 14th of
Oh,
May,
yes, this is all being
2025.
recorded.
We're doing the
No!
sixth and final session of Star Trek.
I will never be
Indeed.
able to enter American airspace ever again. Oh no!
I think they would have already looked at your social media presence.
They just don't want to look at you and deport you anyway. That's,
Yeah,
that's
it's
all
like-
they need.
What do you do for a job?
Who is
I'm a
this
science-
misshapen beast?
Deported.
Meanwhile, I'd get ushered in right by you with the red carpet and everything.
What, you'd be wearing a t-shirt saying I love Trump or
I
something?
wouldn't need it.
He's the whitest man we all know.
Ah, I see. Okay.
Almost,
All right.
but not as white as Michael Jackson.
Now, just so you guys remember, last week we finally finished
Yes.
something which I thought a 3 week event that I thought would take us 1 week. So
well.
We were having too much fun, as I recall.
yes, I didn't mind because you guys were actually having fun and you were doing things to my story that I hadn't actually come up with. So I'm like, sure, let's keep going with that, shall we?
So where did we get to? We moved to a new city.
We found out that where we think the guys were being held was in a thing called the glass throat,
That's right, the glass throat, whatever that means.
and
I think it might be this.
you've received some words from various people that give you a hint as to where we need to go for it.
Yes, what was that hint?
Because I was getting sick of you guys for crossing purposes, the hint you got was we've found an underground facility in the Steel Coast.
Ah, the steel. That's right. I remember the Steel Coast bit. I don't remember anything else. Underground facility in the Steel Coast.
Okie dokie. So
So,
now comes some setting text. Okay, so
all right,
listening.
listening time.
Buried far beneath the crust, beneath the ruins of old industry and forgotten bunkers, lies a facility that doesn't appear on any Brotherhood registry. Its corridors are carved with surgical precisions, its systems partially organic, partly unknown. Even its power signature flickers in irregular patterns, as though the structure itself resists being found. The architecture is inconsistent. Some sections feel freshly constructed, clinical and efficient. Others resemble ancient ruins, as though the facility has been grown rather than built. Strange filaments pulse behind transparent walls. Atmospheric regulators hiss at irregular intervals, as if unsure of what kind of life they're meant to sustain. The deeper one goes, the stranger it becomes. Security systems are present, but subtle. Drones do not patrol, they observe. Lockdown protocols are biometric, but not keyed to any known faction. There are labs, containment pods, and evidence of experiments involving energy transfer, neurological mapping, and spatial phase manipulation. Some systems appear to be waiting for a signal. And then there are your missing crew. Hints of them surface, recorded voices on internal loops, fragments of uniform, half-loaded biometric tags that blink red when scanned. They were brought here, but for what purpose is unclear. What is certain is this: the facility isn't abandoned. Something is watching, something is listening, and something, somewhere deep within, is preparing for the next move. All
This
right.
is clearly stuff our characters don't know, but it's, well, as such.
Okay, I would like everyone to roll on notice.
Calendar.
Yeah, my calendar.
And that includes both
Holy
Romulan
crap.
spy and the
I got 3. Amazing.
Romulan spy and the captain.
What are we rolling on?
No,
Notice.
I will not notice anything. I'm at negatives.
I rolled on my useless skill and got 3.
So did I.
6.
6. Okay, Saxon has noticed.
Saxon will notice something.
Saxon has noticed indeed. Okay, I happen to have a nice shiny D6 for you, which I'd like you to roll.
Okay.
It's shiny on D6.
It is only a 1. Snake eyes, except it's a 1 on
Okay.
One-eyed snake. Oh, let's not go there.
But
Let's not. Yes.
yeah, let's not.
Sorry,
Let's
I should not have said that.
seriously not. Okay, so
Roll the 1.
now just so you guys understand,
Yeah,
Game
well, I
Master
reckon
would like to
Mr.
see.
Gillen.
Insert trouser in there.
stop talking about dropping your DAX in the role-playing game, please. Okay. Now, that was not...
We're not playing Deep Space Nine.
Fair enough. Okay.
Oh, hang on.
That was rather good, actually.
Yeah.
Okay, so that what the D6 that Saxon just rolled was not a score or anything. It was just to find out what he's noticed. He's noticed something. What did he notice? Well, Saxon, it turns out that your character noticed a subroutine when you were up in the upper levels of this this strange place. You noticed a subroutine that seemed to be familiar from the time that you guys spent in the shadows of the cloud.
Okay.
You wonder if you might be able to find a hidden transit route. So, roll on engineering or operations, whichever you think is better.
Operations is 4, engineering is 3.
Is this written in Fortran?
Just accept.
Okay, plus 1 onto 4 for operations is a total of 5.
You easily manage to bypass the corrupted files, and you are able to. And the team are now in the in this area here, which is your. Yes, I know. It's suspiciously simple. It's amazing how much like the other place that we could be in this looks, isn't it?
Queetos.
Okay.
That's it.
Why do we have a cover on top of the cover?
Yeah, it was exactly the same. It was like covering them.
Not quite. If you have a look, that now is
The circular things.
that thing's actually a transporter room.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you
There were no
recognised
half circles.
Some of them are more. Some of them have more stuff in them than others. But
What do you think? Stop.
before we move on from here, you find in one of these there is a console that is apparently operational there, and one of you can see that it has a strange word on it, which roughly translates to Operation something access. Fulmocodo. Operation Fulmocodo access.
If we rack our brains, can we try and figure out what the context of that is?
Well,
Is it something
okay, so we're talking about a computer console that's here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what are you guys going to do about it?
Go Dr. Dave, your science, do it.
Well, we should check the coordinates of the last place it beamed.
We decide that Dave should do some kind of science thing with the console. Science it. Look at it.
So
Look at it, Dave.
do that.
Study it.
Operation Fulmocodo access.
I'm gonna just drop a subtle hint here to Dave that computers are a little bit more sort of operations or engineering than
Oh,
science.
okay. Well, Ray, do something.
Well, it's obviously a mathematical thing.
Yeah, there we go. Okay. Okay, so roll on engineering then.
Do I get my mathematical genius?
You can get that if you want.
You'll need it.
So I get
Plus 2 or an
a
extra.
fair, but I says solve a problem with a fair or better if I can explain how it's mathematical.
Okay, it was very obviously mathematical. I'm happy with that. So, you see that the biggest problem with this particular particular terminal is there seems to be a decaying power conduit. Not only can you tell which conduit it is, you can easily figure out how to bypass or stabilize the decaying power conduit, and the terminal now has full functionality restored.
Excellent.
Now, you are now the Operation Fulmocodo Vault has now been opened to you. You see on the screen 3 files. Now, it's an odd old graphic user interface, but the 3 files. The first one is simply a line. The file is simply a standard generic file icon with the legend underneath it: mission log sabotage ops. Text record. Okay, that's your first one. The second one says Pravum address audio recording. And the third one says prototype test footage video log. Now, before I forget, the prototype test footage is another generic logo. It doesn't seem to have anything on it. But the one that says Pravum, hang on, my computer's just done something with it. All right. The second one that says Pravum address audio recording has a photograph attached to it, and it looks like that. Okay, now the other thing that you are able to work out.
Push it your way.
Has that screen
Who is that?
Now, the other thing that you are able to work out. The other thing that you are able to work out
Why we're no longer
is
married.
that you see a basic you see that there's something to do with something here. You have a feeling that if you pick one of these files, the other two will become unstable and not able to be accessed. So you need to choose which of these 3 files you want to pick.
Right, one Ray.
So,
So I would suggest you talk about it. So your options are mission log sabotage ops text record, Pravum address, which is an audio recording, or prototype test footage video log.
which one is most likely, do you think, to lead us to our missing crew members?
Presumably the
Jono,
ops one.
can I ask, have you made a video for us to watch?
I would love to say yes. That would have been awesome. but
Have you made an audio recording for us to listen to?
No, I haven't. That would have been awesome as
Those
well.
two must be shit.
Okay.
So, go with one of our
Well, the
It's
other
a
one
piece
was-
of metagame.
Could you repeat the intuition that the is it as simple as we can only choose one? Did you just basically
You have an
say we can
intuition
only
about
choose-
this.
We can only choose one. And
You've dodgied up this this terminal, right? Made this terminal work, and you've made it work well enough that you're fairly sure you can get one of these files. You don't think you've got any chance of getting more than one, so you've got to pick which one you go for.
Okay. So there's no hidden meaning about the different types of technology of video, audio, and
No,
text.
I deliberately made them as three equal things, but which would reveal different things. So
I posit that the first one sounds like a broad description and would therefore give us overall context,
I don't
whereas
think it
the
matters which one we choose.
audio and visual files would give specifics.
Mm.
How much detail
I
do
don't
we
think
want?
fate points work that way, do they?
That's not how the force works.
We're
Right,
talking
we
about the
discussed
force,
it.
we're talking about fate.
what are they whispering about fate points here?
Oh, just if we could somehow manipulate a fate idea to pick, which would be the best one to.
I would have thought the ops one would have been one with the most information.
Not the captain's log.
What's the captain's log?
Is there one like a
No, it's
No,
well,
that's
it's a
an
log
address.
of. Well,
That's the manifesto of Quetos or whatever his name
Okay.
is.
Pravum.
Yes.
there's an audio address. There's a video excerpt from some sort of. What was
Launch,
it?
it was a
Okay, prototype test footage,
Prototype
and that's a
test.
video.
That'll be us being disintegrated.
And then there's a log of some sort of sabotage operation.
Of course, if we choose that one, we can just say, oh, well, they're dead now, we can go home.
I don't know. Just pick one. You could be right. Just choose which one you'd like to hear.
You choose it, Ray. We trust your decisions.
The third one.
The third one.
video log.
Okay, the video log.
Yeah, let's listen to it.
Okay, when you look at the video file, which by the way you are downloading to your tricorders, and yes, by the way, you are absolutely correct, the other two files have fizzled out of existence. But when you look at the video file, the first thing that you notice is a strange looking craft called, and it has the title Concordia underneath it.
Oh, no!
Now, Concordia, this strange craft is not something you've ever seen before. It looks like a strange amalgam of all kinds of different technologies. But you have a feeling you've seen it before.
Does it have an Italian captain?
Yeah, didn't we encounter
doesn't.
I mean, the whole reason we ended up here is because we detected a faster than light drive or something.
That
didn't we?
was the wreckage we found in orbiting the planet, I assume.
Indeed, the wreckage could very easily have been the spacecraft you're looking at right now.
Right, gotcha. There's our link.
The surveillance footage shows the Concordia, but it shows it in a test bay. Yes.
Is it named after the ocean liner that sank on the anniversary of the Titanic off Naples?
No, it is not.
Okay.
That is a coincidence I only noticed when you pointed it out. Okay. You are looking at surveillance footage of the original Concordia under test conditions. You see a group of Brotherhood technicians working together, and suddenly, at one moment, there's about 2 minutes of footage, and at one point, the engineers start to scramble as one of the warp coils glows blue, then briefly purple. Static cuts off the final frame.
Is it bad when it does that?
Oh, it would be. It means something's blown up.
Or it's been activated when they weren't expecting it to, by some crazy...
Oh, that might be how it
Ray,
ended up in
roll on
space.
engineering.
Yes.
Because what did we find on there? Was it abandoned, basically?
Well, they were suggesting there was one survivor. Briefly
One.
there.
Okay, so you don't know what's going on, but you do know just a basic thing that any engineer would know is that when a normally blue coil goes purple, that's an instability and that's bad. You can't work out from the footage that you see anything else about it, but you know that there's an obvious instability in their warp drive.
And this was inside a test.
This was in the
Facility.
test facility.
And we didn't see the end of the video because the end of the video fizzled out.
This was the entire file. The file's 2 minutes of video, at the end of which you see the warp coil turn purple, and then the video cuts out. Okay. Now,
do I think that it's possible that it actually caused it to launch into subspace from the test facility?
what do you think? So ask that question again, sorry.
Is there any weight to the hypothesis that the instability in the warp core actually caused the ship to spontaneously jump to subspace to a different position in space?
That is an interesting theory. You don't have enough evidence on which to actually base that theory, but it is certainly something that could have happened. That is one of the possibilities that comes immediately to mind. All right.
Was two subsequent questions.
Go ahead.
Was the ship that we saw in the test sealed life support wise?
You can't really see, but it looked like it had normal ship integrity.
So
You're seeing it from the outside. You're not seeing it from the inside.
So there weren't open hatches.
There weren't open hatches and so forth. Well, actually, one of the doors was open, but it doesn't look damaged or anything like that. It just looks like it's open
Okay.
because they're actually walking into and out of the ship.
When this happened.
When this happened, yeah. So
Okay. When we came across this same ship, did it have open door?
no, it did not.
Okay.
Okay. When you found it in space, it was it does not. Whilst there's a lot of things you don't know about it, it does not look like it suffered a catastrophic loss of pressure or anything like that.
Oh, okay.
It was a good problem solving there. Okay. The next place you see is a cargo bay. Now, in this cargo bay, there are a number of crates of various types. In fact, there are eight crates. If you wish, you may attempt to open or scan or anything else that you want to see if you can get inside. So,
And then
Propose-
does the rest blow up when we scan them?
well, that's
Just
the risk.
ask.
That's the risk you have to take, isn't
There
it?
you go. I thought they would.
That's the risk you have to take.
Oh, this is,
Well,
yeah.
first up, we look at them and see if they're labelled in any way. Then we can scan them. Then
What?
we can open them.
Reading.
Yes.
Why would we do that?
Okay,
They're
how
labelled
they-
with a barcode.
Aha.
Oh, I can read barcode.
Who's
666.
Who's got a barcode reader?
Satan, Satan,
Yes, all of them have 666 in them somewhere. Okay, so you've got the crates have got barcodes on them, so they're not really some. Well, you can read them in the
other
sense
words,
that you
they're
can work
just
out.
numeric sequences that act as unique identifiers.
That's
and
the
don't-
one, exactly.
Don't actually encapsulate any information whatsoever.
But you think you've got
They don't encapsulate any information.
you think
Well, other than the identifier, no associated information. On
you think you've each got time to open to scan or open
What do you
one.
mean time? Okay.
We've got time before they blow up. I told you they're going to blow up. Don't go. They're going to blow up.
No, they're going to blow up.
What are we doing?
Okay.
Trying to open one.
Well, if you want to, you can have a look and see what's in the crates. Now, obviously, you don't want the people in this facility, whoever they are, to know that there's been someone sneaking around. So if you just open it up, you might just
see.
find.
I mean, does it really
Obvious
matter?
question.
I mean,
Are they sealed?
I mean,
How
it's
much effort needs to go
we're not
into
doing a
that?
dungeon bash. Why do we need to look for treasure? Well, except it might give us some kind of clue, although it seems like there's a fairly linear sequence going on here. So,
The linear sequence is more due to the vagaries of my map abilities.
let me just. I've got science. I'm Melician Highbrow. I'm gonna scan them.
So if you have a look, the crates are all numbered. Which crate do you want to scan?
The one nearest to me.
Which is?
Oh, they do have numbers. Which one's Melician Highbrow? I'm going to say that's Melician Highbrow.
Well, actually, the one that's I've forgotten that your character is actually female and not.
So Benji
dark-skinned.
is this fella here, and Benji is closest to number 6.
Number 6. Okay.
I am rolling.
Scanning the science.
Yes. No, I did not fail. I got a 4.
4 is perfectly good enough. Okay.
Don't you ever doubt me again.
Now, inside,
Almighty Master!
inside the box, you are a little puzzled because there's. By the way, the box is not in any way. The box is not in any way shielded or anything, so it doesn't look like they were expecting to be protecting it from any kind of electronic scanning.
Yep.
But you're a little puzzled by what you see because what you see is anti-grav lifters.
Anti-grav lifters.
They're of a type that you normally find in underground transit systems.
Oh yes, like trains.
But they kind of look like they've been modified.
Yes. Well, that makes
Do what?
Well, these guys have been modifying various things to use as weapons or that sort of thing, haven't
Exactly.
they?
So how do they weaponize this thing?
I don't know. It may not be a weapon as such, but they're modifying it for some purpose.
Mm-hmm. If somebody wants to have a go at an engineering role,
I wouldn't want to put my head between two powerful magnets.
Oh,
let's just say
gee, negative 1.
okay.
That was actually
Why?
the worst roll
What
I
could happen?
rolled.
Try one of
Unfortunately,
Both
whilst
of
you
which is
can,
not good.
whilst you agree with them that the that it's been modified, the modifications don't fit any basic pattern that you can see. Does anybody else want to look at, scan,
Let's open another box.
Yeah.
What's behind door number?
And by the way,
Yep.
it doesn't necessarily have to be science. There's all sorts of skills that might be relevant in.
My eyeballs!
Which one is you?
Yeah!
Which one is you?
+1.
Which
Plus
one
one
is
for what?
you?
I don't know. I'm playing an NPC that isn't me.
Oh, that's true. What's your?
Yeah, but it's your usual figure.
Which is your usual figure?
I don't
One with the rifle.
This one here.
Yep.
Well, there's 7 and 8 near you there.
I'm not black.
What?
No, the black one is
What are
Benji
you
Muzi.
fucking talking about?
That's not a white man.
Well, that's not a white man.
What the?
Hang on.
What are you? Are you okay?
That's not a white man.
I'd suggest the one closest to Dave is.
This might be a white man.
Except he's wearing a red shirt because that's David's character.
The one
But
with
Dave's
the
a woman.
You're wearing a mustard colour.
Not a woman in this one.
That's a woman.
That's Saxon's character.
Then I'm a black man.
No, you're not a black man. I'm just not very good at
Christ, can we move on?
building up.
How is that? I don't even want to
Don't
know
ask.
how your brain works sometimes.
Okay, what?
I've moved him over to number 7 because
Number
he's not
7.
going to do it on his own.
Okay, security. Roll on security.
It's gonna go back. It's a mimic. Yeah.
Yay.
3.
And more.
More than
Like,
3.
More than 3. He's
Really?
security man himself.
Well, I don't know. What is. I only got 2
Oh,
skills. here.
sorry. What are your
it's
skills?
Not you. I
I'm
forgot
not
it's
my
you, but it's
character.
not you.
However, 3 is entirely good enough for you to see what's going on
You've
inside.
done it, newbie.
See, I used it using the worst and useless skill.
Which is the worst and useless?
Well,
When you scan the
they're very
crate,
competent, incompetent, stuffed, and useless. And one
None of
below
this is
that,
helping me. None of this is helping me.
Bang.
Since when has Peter ever
When you
helped me
scan the
understand
crate-
anything?
It's the blast radius.
suddenly the crate moves on its own.
It's a mimic.
What skills do you have? Where are your skills?
the one's given me.
Oh, there it is. Fight.
Yeah.
You've got 1 skill.
Okay.
You could fight with the box. See how that works out for you.
A
Cool.
dormant, a
Mario
previously
Kart.
dormant security drone
Well, it sounds like he will be.
has just popped out of that crate.
Can I shoot it?
Now, in the fraction of a second, you all look at it, and it looks like something. It looks like it's hybridized. It looks like it's created from scavenged parts. Possibly, you can see parts from the three places you've visited. You can see parts, but there's other parts that are unfamiliar. So you're assuming they must come from other
I'll
brotherhoods.
shoot Jono, of course.
What?
Shoot it. Shoot it now.
I'm shooting it now. Well,
No, maybe.
That's-
0.
You've got a fight skill of
2!
2.
So how much did you get?
2.
2!
2. Okay.
That's
The
fair.
the drone attempts to duck out of the way,
But not
and it does really, really badly. So you hit it.
It's gonna
Okay.
explode now.
So the drone has now received a point of damage. However, it has recognised that you are attacking it, and its little lights turn red because that's the universal sign of a droid realising it has been attacked and doing something about it.
Or turning evil.
You pissed it off.
So it fires at you.
I dodge.
Roll on physique.
I don't have. What's. Where's
It's all right. It's just 3.
3.
You've got 3.
Okay, so if you don't have a skill, assume that it's 0.
Okay, I got 3.
You got 3, then you easily dodge out of the way of the blaster bolt of whatever description it happens
Worse
to
than
be.
useless.
What?
Well, I've got barely competent, incompetent stuff than useless. So I need something worse than useless to describe when there's no skill.
If it's 0, okay, this is fate. You never have nothing in the skill area.
Rule of days.
Okay, is anybody else going to try and help out your floundering
Sure, let's
comrade?
let's
no,
fire.
they're just all watching.
Right, I'm gonna fire at it.
Okay, go for it.
Who's that?
I'm shoot.
Who's this more petty
Shoot.
idiot over here?
I don't have
It's
anything.
the white woman.
I'm a captain that can't shoot shit. Apparently.
That's because you never leave the bridge, Fatso.
I know. Hey. Not as fat as your cat,
You are a cat.
but not as fat as 0.
Yeah.
But you have, what skills do you have?
He has no skills.
No skills in that I operate a pew pew.
The robot
You're holding your character sheet wrong. Do it urban style.
Oh,
The robot
okay.
ducks out of the way and fires,
Pew pew.
Okay.
and it actually wings the captain.
Fuck.
Okay, so you've got one
win if it
physical
is, you
stress
die.
box.
Do you
So-
have antibiotics, saliva? You can make it.
No, probably.
Quick, dribble on yourself.
So just tick one of your physical stress boxes.
Okay,
have
I
two.
shall try.
If only I had a security officer.
Well, I've gone AWOL. I got
Okay,
kidnapped.
I
No, I
get
wouldn't be in
one
this situation.
with my otherwise
Four.
non-existent.
You
fight
get
skill.
1, okay?
I was
Or
barely
shoot
competent
it.
in
Does it
fighting.
dodge?
It dodges, and it doesn't. It's not looking happy, so it fires at you,
Okay.
but it misses you.
Doing so many more rounds at us
The
than
more-
we are at them.
I know it gets an attack for every time we attack.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is an amazing bit of amazingness. I should use this in my
You
match.
hit it. It's got its second stress box is full. Okay.
How many stress boxes does it have, or is that something that we wouldn't be able to get?
Well, normal creatures have 2 stress boxes. One
Let's
with
just assume
one
we
with
hit
2
it
stress
again.
and one
It's
with 1
fighting in
stress.
the fourth dimension.
It is. Let's just hit it again and it'll die. Quick.
Ray, shoot it.
Right, shoot it and get hit.
Can I shoot it again?
Yeah, you can if you want.
-1.
-1.
You made him do that.
And it dicks. It drops out of the way really easily.
It dicks.
It dicks.
You're dicked.
Second shot.
You're dicked. Yeah.
-1. Also, it ducks out of the way, obviously.
It falls over its own feet trying to dog it.
You're dicked.
Obviously, our mass attack has confused it. There is a reason this thing was put into sort of.
Look, it rolled as badly as you, so we're basically just going to chalk that up to a bad experience for both of you.
Okay.
Okay, but it's going to fire at somebody. It's going to fire at Saxon.
Okay.
and it manages to shoot itself in the butt. I don't know.
Oh, it's still
Jesus.
going.
No, it's well, it wouldn't be still going except both it and you are rolling so badly.
So Benji's all the way over here.
Well, Benji's replacement,
Yes, sorry, Melician Highbrow.
Melician Highbrow.
Get out of the way! It's time for action.
Oh God, it's a woman. Kill my woman.
Huzzah!
What you get?
Make
Zero.
0. And it dodges out of the way, but it notices you are shooting, so
She's going to shoot me now.
it also fails to hit. Obviously, guys, you seem to have hurt it badly because it can't shoot
If
anymore.
there were less of us, it'd
Can
be
I
less
shoot
strong.
again?
You can shoot
Possibly,
again.
but I still posit that there's a reason it was put in
4.
storage.
4. Uh-oh. It ducks, but it doesn't duck enough, and it blows up.
Yay.
Okay, so you have dealt with the robot. Now, unfortunately,
My character moves to the door, but doesn't stand in the door and listens. Is there anybody approaching? Has that ruckus been heard?
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Maybe that should be happening.
it does not appear you can't hear any obvious signs of anyone coming.
How much were we squealing like a bunch of
Can't-
wieners while that
Can't
was
we have an awkward conversation?
Okay then. You're
Now,
saying.
I was going to say it was near crate number 8, and in the melee, crate number 8 has been broken open. And what you see there are sealed bundles of archival discs.
Ooh,
Now, most of these are smashed, but one bears a date that is well beyond the current Novaterran calendar.
well beyond.
Well beyond.
You mean before or after?
After.
In the future.
In the future.
It's a future
Where?
disc from the future.
Where future things may happen.
To you.
Somebody roll on academic.
Could that be me? Am I fucking smart?
Do you have
Nope,
academic skill?
I'm not even smart.
He's
Well,
got lots of skills, but
Yeah,
not
but
the one you need.
nothing that's any good.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll do it.
Welcome to non.
Let everyone.
What is your level of academic?
0, but I do have science.
Well, hang on a minute. You've got blank skills.
Oh, so I should fill them in.
Right, an academic.
It just so
Academic.
happens you've got academic.
What's the other one? What should the other one be?
Fill that in.
Shooting shit.
Choose it when you need to.
No, I'm not going to do that.
What's
That would be
shooting
far too keen. In fact, far too useful. I'm going to use rapport instead. Right, academic. Negative
Oh my
4.
god.
Actually, we're
Could you
plus
roll
1.
any worse?
That's negative 3. No,
I'll see if I
literally
can roll.
can't roll worse than that. That is theoretically the
0,
worst one can
total
achieve.
2,
I think
2.
you've chosen.
Okay,
an
2 is
amazing
enough for you to
combination of
say-
skills Where
You
every single
know
one of the
you know
skills
that the
somebody
writing
will
on
do
the
it instead of you.
Yeah.
you're able to use
Well, that
your
sounds like a captain.
you're able to use your tricorder and stuff to work
So I
out
can
roughly
find
what's
myself
being said
and I
there.
can be adequate
Now-
as shit.
Except
A
for the
lot
one.
of what's visible there is too complicated to truly understand, but you do see that the label is from the Keepers of Time.
No, but it's just there to mock us. There's no way to increase our ability.
They are the
so-
keepers of time. They're keepers
So
of
it might
time.
literally be something which has been displaced temporarily.
We are polluting the time stream.
Are we? God, don't tell me there's going to be a tiny one.
Has
in
anybody?
this.
Okay, so by the way, that's obviously the consolation prize for having picked the crate with the robot in it.
What? Being
Um,
shot at?
No, that's not a consolation prize. That's a consolation not very
the
nice.
disc from the future.
Which is very obviously from the Keepers of Time. Okay, does anybody else wanting to? Okay, so each person has a chance to open one crate. Anybody else? Has anybody not opened their crate or
I've
scanned?
not opened a crate.
You've not scanned a crate.
Open a crate.
Yeah, I will scan crate.
Okay, so you
number.
can look at it with notice, engineering, science, security, or operations.
Well, you can't look at crate then. I could look at crate. I
Can
have
I
no skills.
look at it with command?
I use my eyes.
Yes, you can. If you can come up with a justification for it, I'll give it to you.
He's got notice.
I know.
He's got notice.
You can't use notice to look
You've
at a
got
crate.
operations, you big girly man.
At
He's
the
operate-
same fucking level as notice.
Yeah, plus 2. What are you whining about? Roll your
I'm
fucking
trying
dice.
to add 4 to it, not 2.
Oh, you.
Say it.
Fucking
Go on.
combat wombat. Roll the
What? I'm not even good at that.
Oh, you wiener. Roll the dice. You've got +2.
David, you need to get 2.
Look,
Roll the dice.
Urban's going to hear you said that about his character, and he's not going to be happy.
I'm no,
Speak. You have English. Use it.
It's not urban. I'm upset with.
This is all very keen. Do we want to get through this or not?
Yay!
1. No, 2. Yes.
-1.
Yeah, 1.
1, okay.
You failed.
2, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, 1.
See?
Jimmy.
So you.
An
Very
observation.
competent.
Go ahead.
incompetent
Dr.
stuff.
Dave is
Useless.
talking to teacher Dave in exactly the same tone of voice that he talks to Peter when they gets frustrated by them. This is a step up.
Step up!
I'm not going anywhere near any of
the
this.
magic!
Okay.
I open a crate.
Okay, you open a crate.
He
So-
didn't
so-
even get to announce what skill he's using.
No, he just opens it.
Oh, favoritism.
The spirit of urban is with us.
And you'll get a fate point for it.
Oh,
Are you going
God,
to use
the
engineering?
Yes.
Go for it.
I
Roll.
open the same crate that David tried to open.
Okay. Well,
Oh,
there's-
so I've already loosened it for you.
5.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
fuck.
Which crate is this, by the
One
way?
just the levitates
One
off.
Dave was opening, so which one was
What
that?
number
Well,
was it?
this is just like the time I got you 2 lamos to roll against Woe.
That was the best fun we ever had ever.
That was.
Whoa.
And you took our woe away.
Yes,
because we
why
were
did you take it
enjoying
away?
Even though it wasn't called Woe.
Which damn crate are you even getting look at?
Spirit. You made a spirit roll and you both failed.
I was
Crate
after
great.
crate number 1.
Crate number 1.
You got
In crate number
You got
1.
depressed by the wetland.
Yeah, it was fantastic. We loved it.
I got dirty.
Crate number 1.
Impressed. We were.
Crate number 1 is full of military grade rifles.
There you go.
Oh.
And they are charged and ready to use. Now,
Cool, we found crap tech.
Okay. I think we should take them.
Are these cobbled
We've got
together
our own
like
guns.
the weapons, or are they
I don't
actually?
know. Are they
What
better
is-
than ours?
Are they atomic bazookas?
Probably.
I don't know.
Why would they
Um,
be better than
You
ours?
don't know either.
one of the weapons in the box, because you got a pretty good look at them with your skill. One of them actually still has bloodstains on it, which are not fully cleaned.
Ooh.
DNA check.
Did those guys that jumped us, did some of them have these sorts of weapons?
They did indeed.
There you go.
Military
Not all of them,
grade
though,
carbines.
because some of them had various jury-rigged weapons.
Sciencey the blood, Dave. What, whose
Oh, I
blood
could
is
sign.
this?
I could sign see the
Use-
blood
Use the skills that we don't have.
because I have +2 in it. I'm not afraid to use it.
Good on you, Benji. You do it.
Oh, you lame-o.
I got 2.
Okay, 2 is enough for you to work out that
Hang on
yes,
here. Oh, okay.
this is indeed
Did you? Plus
Yeah,
two.
yeah,
No,
two.
oh,
This is
zero.
indeed.
this is indeed fairly standard blood that you'd find from anyone. Yeah, you won't. You don't have enough information to identify the person, but it is good enough to get an idea that this is a fairly normal sample from a Novaterran.
Sure, fair enough. Fair enough. Although family history of heart attacks.
Okay then.
Now,
So,
Is
what?
there anyone who hasn't had a go at a crate?
I have not had a go at a crate. What crates are left?
Lick the
I
crap.
think 2 and 5, if I'm
Nick it.
remembering correctly. I might be wrong about that.
You might get splintered.
2 and 5, yeah. You can pick one of those.
Just the
Okay,
way you
so-
said that.
Okay.
I shall use science.
That's creepy.
It certainly was.
2.
Okay, 2. That is enough to get inside. You have found inside the box there is a pile of compact data hubs.
Ooh, whatever that is. A
Are
compact
they
data
used
hub.
or unused?
They look to
my
with
God.
with the information you've got available to you, you don't really know. But what you can say is that from your experience that you've seen, they look very much like Shadows of the Cloud manufacture.
Okie dokie.
I'll take one, see, try, as we go along, I'll fiddle
Did
and
you
attach it to my
have
tripod and see if there's any
logos on
data
them?
on it.
Can we
But
read
Okay.
We can I think that's our cue to move on to the next room.
Shadows of the Cloud, isn't it like a LucasArts Star Wars game?
When you're doing that,
Wow, we've got
It
the last
auto
batch
boots.
of existence.
when you attach it to your tricorder, it auto boots, and it shows a distorted Shadows of the Cloud Brotherhood symbol.
And it says
But then it
virus
scrambles.
uploading.
Ah,
No, you
Okay.
have to choose your lightsaber.
okay.
All right, so you're moving further along.
I believe so.
Please remove the next.
It's the most interesting
Next
thing
one.
you get to do in the game.
Ooh, suddenly revealed a. Is that a
Bedroom.
It's a bedroom.
Oh my god, no.
Sure, it's not six.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're a bit hard to read, but it says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay.
Which
Um,
bed are you going to choose?
Now, you are in a low-ceilinged living space. Dust hangs in the air. Beds are made but imperfectly. It looks like they've been recently abandoned. There are no people, no alarms, just the echoes of those who call. Shh. There are no people, no alarms, just the echoes of those who called this place home. The barracks are built from mismatched components, repurposed military bunks, scientific lighting systems, and shadow-style surveillance nodes. Offline now. There is no Federation tech.
I'm sorry, Grandpa.
So
Are you younger than me?
what are these guys are just sort of get scavenging tech from various sources and patching it all together somehow. Is that just because they're different brotherhoods or something? Is that why?
They have limited.
Okay.
But also they have, I guess they have access to the tech from the original Ark, and maybe some of that's been built into here. Maybe that's what's going
Okay,
on.
you can see there are 5 places. There are 5 places there. This
Five
time,
little rooms.
This time, I'm happy to give you all of them one at a time, and you can.
Fantastic. That would be so good.
Okay.
What's this?
So number 1, you see a bunch of mismatched posters.
Mismatched.
You see the money.
Okay, can somebody roll on empathy or academics?
Oh, I've got academic.
Don't you have
Oh,
academic?
I've got. Hang on, what's your academic at?
1.
Don't
I've
roll
got
anyway.
empathy at 2.
You might beat him. Roll
Do
it.
it,
You
do
might
it.
beat
Be
him.
better
beat
than
him.
me.
Beat him. Beat him. Beat him. Oh yeah! Hang on, that's cocked. Get to re-roll it. Roll it. Re-roll it. Yeah!
5!
What's
I got a Ray 5! A Ray 5!
In your face, Mr. Techhead.
Yeah!
Yeah!
Look at me empathise with these fucking posters.
My character's a winner. Stop being so mean.
I start to cry.
Okay.
I'm just
While you
waiting
cry-
for my
I
life.
empathise with
No,
so beautiful.
it's appropriate that he's crying because there is a real sense of here. You're looking at a bunch of old Brotherhood recruitment posters on the wall. Each one has been burned, torn, or defaced in some way. For example, a Watchers of the Sky star map is scratched out with black ink. We watched, you watched, nothing changed. Meanwhile, an honour code from the Sword and Shield has been overwritten with Unity is surrender by another name. The damage to these posters is not violent, it's personal. There's regret in the vandalism.
They're
And I
rebelling.
suck.
They're rebelling teenagers. They rebel against the.
They're emo goths. Why are you
About-
crying?
about
I'm not crying, you're crying.
about the rules. The rules
Maybe
of
you
the
find it
society
out.
they've been raised in.
You mock my tears, sir.
Okay,
Which 2?
number 2, you see a stack of folded uniforms.
Oh, what's that?
So roll on notice.
What kind of freak folds their uniform?
What do you mean?
Tidy
Dave
people,
Ritter.
Dave. Tidy people. Notice. I notice with a 2.
2. Anybody else rolling on notice?
I notice 2.
Oh, I've got notice.
No,
No, I
suck.
don't.
Notice is nothing. Okay.
Fold your uniform. You just leave them in a pile in the corner of your
You
room.
fucking
2.
slob.
Okay.
You slob.
You don't even have a uniform.
You don't do that. You put it in the disposal and then you replicate a fresh uniform in the morning.
Oh my god,
The-
I hate
the-
these people.
Uniforms are folded but unwashed, and each one bears partial insignia from different brotherhoods. They're stitched together, torn out, or painted over. These were once standard Brotherhood issue, repurposed here into an anonymous grey.
How weird.
Who's at number 3?
Emo, emo,
They're developing their own
Sure.
society. They're rebels.
Okay, well,
emo.
number 3, you find a booklet with the title Entropy and the Whole. Can someone roll on academics or security?
By Elon Musk.
Failed again. -1.
What are we rolling on?
Academics or security? What have you got, Mr. Momo?
I have nothing. But I'll say I have 0 in security.
Yeah,
Exactly.
0 in academics.
I have even more 0 in security.
0 with my.
I get 1.
You
Academic or
win.
security?
You win! You win the win!
You don't have either academic or security
No.
amongst your various skills.
You've defeated the book.
Okay, well, because you don't have have the level of knowledge of culture that you need.
Mr. Nipper.
What I will tell you is that it's a pamphlet.
Can you pass me
It
a pencil,
is
please?
typeset on very, very cheap paper.
I thought you were going to pass me one.
It appears self-published. You can't actually see what it has inside, but there's a lot of capital letters.
Black hole.
You can see the word Concordia coming up several times.
Entropy and the black hole.
Entropy and the whole.
Starring Nick
WHO.
Savage.
And the hole.
By
The
Cary Grant.
hole.
The whole. That's right. Yes.
Okay.
The wall, WHO.
Where? Which hole? Hole.
Oh, look at this thing again.
Stop it!
The whole,
I've got a 3 on
WHO.
empathy.
Yes,
Am I
WHO.
getting a feeling about whether this is some sort of propaganda pamphlet or is it a Stammersdat?
Okay. Great question. You get a feeling that this is actually it has a look of propaganda to it.
Okay.
There's a diagram in one of the pages that has the word Concordia on it. There is a diagram that shows that a stylized version of the Concordia starship with arrows pointing out in all directions.
Okay, so Jordan Peterson diagram. Okay.
Okay.
All I can think of is that
Um,
guy changing into his clothes before bed.
Unfortunately, that's probably all you can work out from it. You just don't really know. There's a bunch of graffiti in position 4.
Yep.
Roll on empathy or academics.
I've got black hole in academics and empathy.
I could do
Yeah!
Empathy.
that.
0.
Plus 1.
What are we looking at now, Jono? What are we?
You're looking at
One.
some graffiti on the wall.
You got 1.
3. I got 3.
No, you got 3.
3. What was that on? Empathy or notice?
Empathy.
Empathy. Okay.
Failed to understand the graffiti.
You look at the graffiti, and what you see is the Glaivo Calcildo crest with its sword reversed, is one of the symbols you see. Another one you see is the Fratoi de Stelshipoi, the Brotherhood of Starships, seal cracked down the centre. And one symbol shows a circle breaking into 9.
Wow.
And beneath it, you see a little bit of wording, which you can just make out in the local patois. It is from rupture, clarity.
We get what these guys are about, don't we?
No, we don't because we didn't roll high enough. But yes, we do.
Okay, number 5. There's a draw by Bunk,
Draw by bunk.
and
A draw
there is
by
a
Bunk?
Draw by bunk.
The drawer. Like,
Oh, a drawer by the bunk.
Yes.
not somebody
A
drawing by the book.
drawer by the bunk. Yes.
A drawer by the bunk.
Yes.
Yes.
in the drawer. There is a silver locket.
We were
It is
close.
beautiful, but it is empty. It has no inscription. It has no chain. It is a fragment of personal sentiment, long discarded or stolen. It radiates quiet loss, but it gives no answers.
I will use my high concept
Music.
of father figure
Mm-hmm.
to interpret more about this locket.
You find it very hard to really interpret anything, but you do get a real sense. You get a real sense of the loss. Whoever owned this locket has had some really tough times to go through. That's about all you can glean from it.
I will take it with me.
Oh, he should rub it against his face because he's a cat.
That's true.
To be honest, if I was raised in this society, I'd be one of these rebels too. Oh my god, did you see how those people in the bloody mining settlement lived?
I'm
It was
gonna
horrible.
take it with me.
I think they're
Okay,
all
you take it
freaks.
with you. That's fine. Okay, now please remove the next
Oodle boodle.
oodle boodle. And what you see here is a small area. And now you're outside here, and in this room you see two people. The two people look familiar to you because they are in fact Lomax and Mbusi.
Worship us, we are gods now.
Does that mean we should put those characters inside?
Probably not at this point.
Okay. Are they trapped there?
Are they holograms?
They are both asleep.
Are they holograms?
We have read entropy in the whole, and now we understand. You too will join us in the Nexus.
Oh my god, shut up.
Okay, Lomax and Mbusi appear unharmed, but they are both asleep, and it looks like they are on a biobed sort of arrangement, which appears to be keeping them anaesthetised.
Biobeds!
I was about to ask, are they asleep or are they rendered unconscious?
It looks like they're being.
I engineer it.
Yeah,
the
shut
beds
up.
And
Don't
discover-
unplug me.
Trying to discover if turning them off will harm them.
Okay, have a go. Engineering.
2.
I don't know why.
2 is enough for you.
3.
3. 3 is enough for you to work out this. You don't think it's going to harm them at all to turn it off.
Good enough for me. Choo, choo.
Okay, you turn it off.
Oh, we're in the room.
Power it down.
I, as Maleficent Highbrow, will scan them for vitals,
Okay, scan their vitals.
which I can do with science.
You can do that with time. That's
Apparently,
right.
this is how she speaks now. Oh my god, I'm so useless.
You killed us all.
Now I got 2. I got 2.
2 is perfectly good enough.
Millith beard.
Maleficent had done.
Maleficent. My name is Maleficent
Maleficent.
Highbrow.
My character will keep an ear out. I shall use notice to hear
Shut up.
anything
Notice?
No.
I'm down to 1.
Okay, no, that's not a very good notice, but it's enough for you to ask a question. Why haven't they left guards here?
Yes.
Yeah, what's going on, eh?
Are there...
Maleficent, you have noticed that your scans have revealed that they are in, as far as you can tell, absolutely brute health.
Okay, so they are not facsimiles made of
Not
clothes.
facsimiles, well, it's not as far as you can tell. They do not appear to be clones. They appear to be your brother
are
officers.
hologram constructs?
No, they haven't got fingers like that now.
So,
Not
is it
gammas.
possible to rouse them, by which I mean make them go awake?
As far as you can tell, now that okay.
Now that the biobeds...
Now the biobeds have been switched off, as far as you can tell, they are just now sleeping normally, so if you make a sudden noise, it'll wake them up. Which you just did, and they wake up.
Okay,
Greetings, sirs. We're here to rescue you.
what's going on?
Lomax says, "You've got it all wrong. You don't need to rescue us. We are where we belong."
I knew it.
Sir, I posit that you have been brainwashed. Please surrender yourselves to us and we shall take you back to our pleasure.
At this point, Mbusi says, No. Progress is just entropy in disguise. I fixed the mathematics. It was all wrong."
We worked it out, Peter.
I am Ozzy Midas.
We just need to ride the curve of entropy to the zone.
That's what
Lomax says,
Build me a statue.
Lomax says,
Isn't
you
that
need,
the definition of life?
Lomax says, you need to understand. It's so clear to me now. Each brotherhood is like a dojo. You don't mix styles and expect discipline. You get chaos. You just get blood.
But weren't these guys mixing styles? I'm confused.
Well, they were until they had a realisation and went all existential despair and graffitied their posters.
Mbusi
If
said,
we're going to be just throwing words at us, I use my negative space wedgie to suspend the laws of physics. Okay, so obviously they're trying to explain something to us, but we're not getting it.
Negative space wedgie.
What's Mbusi saying?
Mbusi-
was going to say something.
Mbusi's saying, they showed me the outcome chart, Captain. We fall apart if we move together.
To be a rock
I posit that the very existence and continuing function of the Federation actually negates that. We may be experiencing a localised phenomenon only.
Roll on report.
Okay.
Ooh, I could
Too late for that.
too.
Total of 1.
See, told you.
Can I roll on report? Because I am Maleficent Highbrow.
Highbrow, you have a go rolling on report on your late boss.
But Benji, I got +1.
Benji looks
What
at
are
you
you
strangely
speaking?
and says, Maleficent, what are you doing here?
Help, help! They're attempting to empathise with us!
I've come to rescue you. You're being held prisoner.
Lomax says this isn't betrayal, this is loyalty purified.
We need to be
Loyalty to
sedated.
who? No, hold on a second.
Have you been brainwashed?
If you think about it, the Cybertruck makes perfect sense!
No, hold on a
Have you been
second.
brainwashed?
Final thing. We've
Are
been
you
told
worse
we've
than
slowed
what you
down
normally
our
If you
our
think about
fables.
it, Katy Perry
Yes.
really is an astronaut.
I shall use my surprisingly sociable for a Vulcan.
Yep. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, surprisingly sociable for a Vulcan. You have actually managed to get through to Lomax. But you are, instead of getting him to go back to his normal self, he's just looking confused. But he's saying,
But where will the calculators go?
"Where will all the calculators?" No, he says, "But it seems so clear.
When he explains it.
What is happening? Why is it not making sense?"
Maleficent will do brain
Right.
scan.
May
Will
I
do
ask, at what point did you actually find this thing to be so convincing? Was somebody talking to you? Were you reading
Maleficent's not very
some
good at these
instructions?
things. She
Was
needs
there
more
some piece of
experience.
social
Something
interaction
hiding black
which
hole,
was
perhaps.
affecting you?
At this
What
point,
is the context?
At this
I
point,
need the pencil.
Moosey's eyes open. He's obviously had something of an epiphany. And he says, I don't remember. I don't remember. That's odd.
Yes, it is.
Curious.
Maleficent tried to scan his brain, but she got a total of 1.
Well, as far as she can tell, you're getting every sign of a perfectly normal human brain in operation, but that's all.
Something's gone a bit wrong somewhere.
Maybe it needs to.
Okay.
Maybe the brain needs to be sliced and put under a microscope.
No.
Have
On
you
a
tried
meta
turning it off and turning it back on again?
Okay,
On a
just a
meta
second.
level, the obvious observation is it might be something like a waking dream where when you're under the influence, something is so obviously correct and then you wake up and what the hell was I thinking?
Captain.
Captain!
Yes.
Capitano!
Yeah, sorry,
Captain
there was a
who's-
captain for a moment. Yes.
Captain who's been chafing for something to do with their high skills.
Yes.
You're looking at these two and you're thinking, this is a load of nonsense. They need to be told.
Yes.
So give them a command.
Command us
Right.
to
A rounding divert narration.
snap out of it.
That's right. Snap out of it. We need to get out of here. You're coming with me. 6.
6.
Cool.
Okay.
Awesome.
Roll on will, both of you. Your actual character, not your.
No, he's not here.
Aha! I have not beaten you.
I have absolutely no idea what Benji's will is. I will find
Then
out.
it's black hole level.
He doesn't have a special skill for will. Is will just some sort of generic thing, or is it?
No, it's a
So that
skill.
means it's a skill of 0.
Well, then I got a total of, funnily enough, 0.
And what did you get?
I got 1.
1. So both of you snap completely to attention, and the voice of your commander has broken through to you.
Yes, Mr. Kitty Cat.
I remember nothing, sir.
At this point, your minds are more or less yours again, although you are still struggling to really make sense of the last few days.
What was that gibberish I was saying before?
Where is the Romulan spy?
But what I'm going to do with you guys is I'm going to give you guys a temporary aspect.
Which is
Potato.
potato brain.
The aspect that you guys have both of you, is
Use it wisely.
stunned
Mullet.
and
Useless.
Utterly useless. Right.
stunned and questioning.
A pirate went to the doctor and he said,
Is this a
"I
consequence?
think I've got moles on my back."
There you
The
go.
doctor looks at him and he goes, "It's okay. They're benign." He goes, "Nay, I think they're beaten."
You can have that one. There's yours. You are stunned and questioning.
Stunned and questioning. Also stunned and questioning.
Question.
Oh God.
And my handwriting got even worse.
Question. Do I need to
Okay.
preface a question with the word question?
Following up
Question.
on the point you made much earlier, why aren't there guards posted around here? I am looking around for any security cameras, and I shall use
We're about to be
my
kids, are we, Saxon? We're gonna
yeah. I shall use my
get... So you're back with Lomax?
Engineering.
You're Lomaxing again?
I hope so.
Well,
a
check the area.
total of 3.
Who's going to come and get us?
Okay,
Oh,
you
I
see
Secure the area.
you see a large number of
style.
Yeah.
you see a large number of security cameras.
We're in a room, sir.
Andrew's a razor.
We might
It's not
want to
Andrew's a
evacuate
razor.
from
Andrew's
this
been looking
place.
at forever. You
A voice.
thief.
Did you say that out loud?
Yes, I've suggested to the captain that we may wish to
You're
leave
a thief.
immediately.
I have no idea where that came from.
A voice comes over the loudspeakers.
It's not my writing.
Oh,
Thief.
do you wish to evacuate when you're having so much fun?
Yes, we do.
And the doors all close except for the one to your right, to
To the
point-
final.
to the final place.
To the
Yes.
final schlep. Shall we go to the final schlep?
Oh, please,
No,
Please.
let's do everything we can to avoid it.
please, let's just do
And
it.
thwart the G.
I don't think we have any choices.
The air starts to be sucked out of the.
And let me guess, when we try and contract the ship with its blocked and we cannot transport out.
You're way
Could be
underground. You're not.
activities, But that
Mhm.
seems less likely.
Just exploring.
Shall I remove?
Yeah,
shall
no,
I,
push us all up.
shall I reveal?
Yes, let's
Reveal.
reveal. Dun, dun,
Alas,
dun.
unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to make the nice little starship that I was going to make. So sorry about that.
Oh.
But anyway, in the vast shuttle bay of this room,
Fast.
lit by an eerie glow, you see what looks to be a virtual twin of the starship Concordia.
Of course.
Now that you know about the Brotherhoods, you can
die.
easily recognise how the ship is an amalgam of Brotherhood technologies.
Each square is 100 feet.
And standing before the ship,
Each man an empire.
Mr.
Each
Concordia.
man a brigade.
Costa Concordia.
While you're setting that up, I will wonder, at least to myself, is this
Just put
amalgam
them in a
technology
square.
a literal result of ideology or simply
just
what
pretend to
materials
be
they
like
had
a
on hand?
cheeky bit
at the
Saxon.
time?
that's an excellent question.
Don't touch.
He touched
Okay.
the figure.
Oh, look who it is! Look who it is!
Who is it?
It's Ray.
It's the AI lady.
No, it's not the AI lady. It's
It's the
the.
Klingon.
It's actually the person that was your Section 31 handler last.
Are you trying to tell me that this figure and this lady have got nothing to do with each other? They
Oh.
are a different skin colour, to be fair.
Well, I did make that picture to look
Yeah.
like her, though. So
Oh, well, then it's not surprising I came to that.
no, it is not surprising. It is the correct conclusion. So
Oh,
yes,
it is. So that is the same person, right?
Be-
Why
before
are
you-
having this argument?
before you see
Because we
Pravam.
got this before.
Okay.
Pravam is wearing her dark exosuit.
Yep.
Clearly,
Her
the cult
features
leader.
partially obscured. She speaks with conviction and gravitas, but not menace. Welcome to La Rompita Uyuneko,
Oompa Loompa land.
or in your language, the Broken Unity.
So yeah, that's right.
We've seen what your unity becomes. Compromise that kills culture. The Brotherhoods survived because they stood apart. These people who are involved in Project Concordia would unravel Nova Terra to prove a point in orbit. The Concordia is a proof that lines can be crossed. We must erase it before it erases us. You think this vessel is hope. I see it for what it is, a loaded weapon aimed at tradition. I would argue that you will need to be erased as well.
This sounds
We
like
were hoping to depart simply so that
This
you
sounds
could
like a
make your
boss
own
fight.
way. However, if you insist on attacking us, we will defend us.
Well, you see, if you depart, I have no way of knowing that you will not take this information to the other brotherhoods.
We wouldn't. We would never do that. You have my word, and I will use my diplomacy skill to convince her.
Okay, have a go at that.
Plus
Spend a
3.
fate point.
Hang on.
Is that a good
I
or a bad?
I can use. Oh, that's alright. Okay. Oh, let's say this. Why not?
Let's say it is.
Let's say fuck.
Oh, look at that.
None of worse.
Look at that. You screwed yourself.
3.
Spend a fate point. Spend a fate point.
You got
on
crossing
what?
paths, empathetic. You could
Oh,
use
crossing
that.
paths.
You could use your empathy.
You're using these people the first time. You can use a doobie point.
Use
Yes, use a
Use
doobie
the
point.
doobie point.
Use your feels.
Doobie point.
Empathetic.
Okay, roll on empathy then. So that gives, well, actually, that gives you a choice. You can either give yourself a +2 on the roll, or you can re-roll it. Which,
No, I'll give myself a +2. So I am now at 5.
Okay, 5?
Yeah.
So you are empathetic enough that you are actually now looking almost into her soul.
Scary.
And a scary place it is indeed.
Right.
I don't understand
Instantly-
these guys. Are they pro? Are they pro?
Instantly you
They're
recognise
pro-division.
Yeah.
something that
I
you've
thought
seen
they
in
were
various
anti-division.
people of her
They
kind before.
were
Yes, what is
anti-division,
it?
then
What
they
is
had
it?
an existential breakdown, and now they're
Yeah.
pro-division.
What do I recognise?
What you recognise in her is the absolute conviction that she is right, that cannot be swayed.
Well, that was a waste of time.
Yeah.
Well, no, it wasn't a waste of time. You used that and you got a real read on this person's personality, and she's not going to back down.
Cool, now we can kill her.
If you wish, I will make you have caused major problems with my people. However, I'm willing to consider a single combat with one of you.
Oh god, it's bonfire time!
Ritual combat.
Off you go, Lomax.
Well, I think Lomax
Um,
is dazed and confused right
I nominated Lomax as our champion.
now. I think he's got some kind of penalty because he just got woke up and he's stunned.
Okay.
What does the condition dazed and confused actually
Yeah.
entail? Does it cause negatives, and
No,
will those negatives
there's
apply to
you
his
in
combat
a
abilities?
fight.
In a combat, it's an aspect, which means I can use it however I damn well like.
Ah, yeah.
Fight.
All right.
But
we get ritual
hang on,
ladies.
hang on.
What?
I want to use another fate point.
Yes.
Yes.
Because I'm his commanding officer to bard him on. Like I'm gonna sort of like just,
Bard me?
yeah,
Command him.
Yeah, like come on, like.
Can you rolling on command?
Like Lomax, you got this.
You got this,
You
bro.
are our chief of security. You will
I love
get
this.
us out
This is
of
good.
this.
Go for it.
Like a Doctor Who speech, but good.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Right.
Timey-wimey stuff.
Yep. That's not bad. I've
It
given
could be
you
worse.
5.
For the
I've given you-
first time since he's got up from the bio bed, Lomax's head seems clear.
Yes.
For the first
I've
time
done it.
forever.
I knew that kiss on your cheek would work. You love your captain. You love him.
Is this
you
a
do
French
anything for him.
pussycat who does
Now,
the Gallic
but
kiss
whilst-
with the cheeks?
Whilst Lomax is reveling in the sudden clarity that his head feels, he realizes that the leader of the broken unity is heading towards him, and
What are we fighting
she,
with?
well, she appears to be
Punch
just swinging at you
Oh,
with a
fisties.
hand.
Okay. If only I had my dice.
Where is he, guys?
Did you drop them on the floor?
Yeah.
Oh, you lame-o.
Yeah.
Hey, Saxonicus,
Mm-hmm.
can I have a look at the player's handbook?
Yeah, sure.
Ah, there it is.
You love it.
Have I looked at it already?
Okay.
How long? This is really, really fresh.
Really new.
She's so roll on
So
either
would be
fight
like
or
last year.
okay. You can either parry with do a block or dodging with physique. Your choice.
I will do a parry with a block.
Okay, go ahead.
Good job.
It's huge,
You
by
can
the
get
way.
it. Yeah,
That
added a few more pages.
300 and
Is
something.
2.
380
But
pages.
am I over my head?
You have just received a blow to the head.
But am I over my head?
You are a little bit over your head.
I
Yes.
can use that as trouble and expend a weenie point.
You can indeed. Yes,
I
you can.
think I'll do a re-roll.
Yes, you'll do a re-roll. Okay, great.
Oh my God! Stop
What is
this.
with you?
Fucking dropsy.
We need a little tray. But to be honest, a tray for dice is a good
Yesterday
idea.
I had both COVID and flu in
Oh, did you?
Injections.
so I'm a bit.
You're a bit la-la.
I'm
God,
very
I
tired.
was so la-la after my flu
I found
injection.
it. I got it.
I had them both at once.
I didn't know you could do that.
do
Oh,
that.
that's right, you can do that.
Yeah.
Why? Who would though?
I had one more.
Well, Peter would. Yes.
I spaced. Well,
Anyway, come on, go. Chop, chop.
Sorry, do the other two.
I really should
Well,
find out when I'm due for a COVID.
It's now 4.
Yeah.
Okay. You are able to just block her blow, but in the process of doing that, you realise that her suit is not just an ordinary jumpsuit. It is actually cyborged in some way.
Exoskeleton.
So now
So I
you
can
take it. You can have a go at
actually,
attacking her.
Infection then. Yeah, I believe so.
That's good.
Yes.
Punch up. Fight. Fight. Fight.
Hang on.
Fight.
Have
You
you
got
got
4.
think here?
You got 4.
Yes.
You got 4 and fight. Go. There you go. 4.
I
4.
got 4.
4.
These are
Hang
kind of
on.
fun.
Attack was 4.
And look, it's oh, hang on. When they
She
do
would be
the-
taking physical stress here,
like the- oh, yeah,
but
that's-
she
it's
is going to
like
use unyielding
like
will.
what you should
Once
say, the
Persine
plain
Praven
versus
can ignore the first physical stress or consequence she would take during combat, as long as it's related to her unshakable resolve.
Okay.
She can continue the fight, maintaining composure and focus, even in the face of overwhelming odds. So, instead of taking her first physical stress, which would be her 2 stress box, she'll only take 1 from that, which would otherwise have actually filled up her stress box.
What is it going?
That was a
what's
good
going on
hit.
at the front here? They're talking about all this stuff earlier.
Okay,
They're just sort of summarising the
No.
gameplay.
she's attacking you
Oh,
again.
yeah. Yeah,
Excellent.
how you play the game.
Okay.
Oh, and she's got a big swing of this one.
Oh, fast.
From
You're gonna get
yeah.
hit. You're gonna get
Yeah.
hit badly.
Yeah.
Fifth
get hit
edition
badly.
to 5.24.
Okay.
Hang on.
Time to go to La La Land.
Hang on.
So, yes, what did you
And
get?
then we get to how to create a character.
I got a 1.
You got a 1.
It isn't out there.
Are you going to...
But can I use my space ninja to dodge?
Yes, you can, most certainly.
I'm going to do a reroll.
A question, Mr. Games Master. What are the conditions where we can trade
Okay,
some of our
5.
fate points to him?
Isn't it nice?
If you can find an excuse.
It's pretty good actually.
Look at what you're thinking and come up with some lame-ass
Yeah.
excuse that would give you an ability to do it.
So
If
what
the
they've
doctor
done
was
now,
with us, he
instead
could
of
have my
remember,
back,
like,
but I
the
think
old
he's
days,
dead.
He's dead. He's been dead for a long time. Okay,
But I
righto.
have this useless
So
thing.
you
Like, did it just go
you were
down
able to
the
dodge.
Oh my God, I could fucking show you what I've got.
She's looking a little bit horrified at the dodge you've done. In the moment of doing that, I'm also going to let you use that to roll on you're doing your space ninja thing. So I'm going to give you an
But now
advantage
they've
on that.
done the-
Okay.
The advantage is you can either re-roll, you can get a +2, or you can tell me something cool that you're doing.
Okay, while I'm dodging, I'm going to swing around and kick her.
Which,
Okay, yep, that counts as doing something cool.
in one way, it makes them harder to sort of fight because these are all
I got
people
a
ordered down
4.
here. But
It's not a very good hit,
another
but
way
you do
to
get
see
her
clearly how
there and there. She is
Yeah.
stunned.
This is also good. Rather than just listing your spells, you've got some details.
She doesn't have a turn this turn,
Okay.
so you can finish her off if you like.
or hurt her.
I'll attempt to do whatever it needs to done to render her permanently unconscious.
Okay.
Permanently.
I take
That's,
that.
means
that's equivalent to dead.
No, just any coma.
That's you're comarizing her.
I rolled 4.
Okay, she can roll to
Mungo
defend
roll
herself, but it's
4.
not very. But
Oh, I have
she
a roll.
loses 2,
Four's
which
good.
means That is enough that she is now unconscious.
I have rendered her unconscious, Captain Kitty Cat.
Okay?
Now you can drag her back to your cave by her leg. I don't know. What are we going to do with her now? Tie her up? Who knows?
It's the salute of the Kitty Cats.
That is not.
I mean, well, to what extent do we actually want to interfere with whatever this is?
But she's
We
vulnerable and
don't-
helpless.
Oh,
Sorry?
God.
Veer away.
Like, do we want to try and shut down this organisation?
What, we're going to go gangbusters all over the
Maybe we
place?
should take it over.
Maybe we should just get
No,
the
I
hell out
believe
of
the prime
Dodge.
directive is
Well, what do
simply
we do
get
with
the hell
her?
out
Leave her
of here.
behind? We've rescued our friends.
You want to take her with us and give her
No.
over to the
No.
tech priests?
No. Oh, maybe take it to the tech priests.
What does the captain want to do?
Stare at his
To
phone.
the priest of time.
Yeah, let's take her to the priest.
Maybe they'll
I
know
tie
what to
her
do.
up.
Do we have some form of anesthetic? Sorry, I'm not using the right words.
Drugs,
Injectable,
man.
injectable soporifics to keep her at least temporarily
Ralph
unconscious.
Yashki pills.
Without further.
Well, you've pretty much got a you're pretty much ready for that in any case. So I'm going to say you can keep her subdued for
Let's
as long as
drug
it
her up.
takes.
I already tied her up.
Okay, we shall need to investigate this area to find out how we actually get out of here.
Also-
Didn't we just
also-
walk in here?
Also,
any
any
transported in.
also, well, then we can probably transport out. But also, we should gather some kind of evidence to present to the dudes.
You've got a fair bit of the stuff that you.
There's a diary manifesto thing we.
Yes,
There
you've
is.
got
That's
that.
probably sufficient.
You've got lots and lots of evidence already.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I am mildly concerned that the entropy of the whole may be some sort of mimetic hazard.
So we have
because,
barbarian,
the player
bard, cleric,
reading
druid,
far too much
fighter, monk,
SCP.
paladin, ranger, rogue, warlock, and wizard. Oh god, they've still got bloody warlocks.
Paladin.
okay, so
No one's more
by the
disappointed
magic
than I
of
am.
travelling by map,
I already got my next warlock.
you have got back to the monastery.
Yeah.
He's going to be a
and-
warlock.
Extra warlock.
Elder Corvos says, "Thank you. You will never know how much you have done for us. However, there is something that must happen now. After this, it is time for the Council of Nine to meet." And he says to you,
Ring race.
if you wish, it would be our very great honour for you to participate in the council meeting.
What roles would we be taking? Observers or actually participants?
After what you have done, the honour is only satisfied if you are able to speak of your own accord.
Very well.
Oh god.
Mon ami, Captain. It
So
sounds
what-
like you need to make another speech.
Right.
So what
Perfect.
Elder Corvos says is, it is clear now that we have a decision to make, and this decision will affect how our society goes forever after.
Right.
We would love your help and your guidance as we make this decision.
Right.
All right.
Okay, so
Oh my god, is that real? Is that a real thing? Of realness? Oh my god, did they really do that?
Yes.
Oh
I
my
thought you were
God.
I thought you were laughing at me putting this down, and I'm thinking, gee, I didn't realise it was that funny.
Oh.
Okay, so that's an AI thing.
It's not. It's got to be.
What is it?
No, it's an AI thing.
People in red panda
Oh, no,
costumes
no.
signalling
The
at each other.
panda's signalling at each
There's no way those are people in costumes. Those are real
I believe
pandas.
red pandas actually do that. I don't know if those
I
are
assume-
red
I assume
pandas,
it's
but
an AI.
That's why
other.
I'm
They're
asking.
pandas.
They
it's
can
not
actually
as
stand
it's
like
not as
that.
cute as it looks.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
them trying to scare each other.
I'm pretty sure they can actually stand like that.
Oh, so those are threat displays.
Yeah, threat displays.
That's,
Oh.
that's pretty gorgeous, though.
They're very cute.
Look at me!
looks
I'm
like-
so huge and strong.
Okay,
I
so
far prefer the idea, and I've only seen this described, of coyotes actually dancing.
I wouldn't be surprised if that was a real social interaction. That's
I think I'm always going to think of you as Red Panda from now on.
look at me.
okay, guys,
Yes, go on. What do we need to
I
do?
bear a certain resemblance to a red panda.
you are in a high chamber in a neutral observatory ringed with holographic interfaces and real-time displays of Nova Terra's skies.
There is a curved table that arcs before a transparent wall revealing the Concordia in dry dock. With the shadow organisation La Rompito UNESCO revealed, the truth behind the sabotage of Nova Terra's first warp flight is finally known. Starfleet's prime directive restricts formal contact unless the society achieves warp capacity. Now the Brotherhoods must describe. Should they try again? The crew have since been able to return to the Tamworth, and the captain has been in touch with Starfleet. Starfleet want the project to succeed so it can establish open diplomatic relationships.
Of course.
We could just give them
Any old excuse with Starfleet.
The player characters have earned. Oh, sorry. You guys have earned,
we're going
have
up.
earned the
We're going
Brotherhood's
up another
respect. Earned the Brotherhood's respect through action and sacrifice. You now have the rare opportunity to witness and influence a world choosing its future.
Oh,
Okay,
makes me feel good.
so if you have a look there, you'll see there is a sheet which shows you
Yeah.
the different characters who are in the room. Some of them you know, some of them you do not. Okay,
The bomb goes off.
the first person you know is General Krasik. He is tall, broad-shouldered, and clad in rigid sand-coloured uniform with his titanium prosthetic arm and ceremonial sidearm visible.
Yep.
You see Merrim Voss with his neat suit, but his burn-scarred hands and soot-flecked face, carrying, as he often does, a portable metal testing kit. You see Elder Corvos. He is elderly and bearded in layered brown and gold robes. Eyes are clouded but observant. Fingers often curled around ancient scrolls or relics. A man you do not know. A woman you do not know. Tassel, who is the acting representative of the Shadows of the Cloud. She is elegant and severe with pale skin, black bobbed hair, and a wrist-mounted device projecting Nebula 9's calm holographic avatar. There is Dr. Ilari Janek, the lean, composed leader of the bodyguards, dressed in his minimalist medical robes. Her minimalist medical robes. Faint glowing implants line her neck and wrists. There is Archivist Tim of the Watchers of the Sky. Slender and ageless, with wind-chapped skin and starlit eyes, wears layered cloth robes stitched with astronomical symbols. Speaker Olm Bravix of the Guild of Fire. Stout, red-faced, with flame-patterned robes and soot-caked boots. Carries a reliquary of molten crystal around his neck.
Reliquary.
Conductor Rel Novus of the Masters of Motion. Wiry and perpetually in motion, wearing a complex braided harness with route maps and display badges. And finally, First Builder Arvin Zero of the Brotherhood of Starships. Thin and sharp-eyed, with long fingers stained with polymer grease. He wears a sleek uniform studded with micro tools.
No.
Okay, the first thing that they do is they take a brief vote.
Yeah.
This they do without lengthy justifications at this point. Each simply announces their stance. You have been told by Elder Corvos that the rules of the council are that there must be a unanimous vote for it for the
Unanimous, bloody hell.
motion to be carried. Sword and shield are 4.
4 for what? Oh, I had 4 votes.
4 for they are in favour.
They're in favour of joining the galactic.
No,
Neighbourhood.
that's a little bit further. I think they're unifying their planet.
They're in favour of continuing the warp ship program.
The
Right.
the thing that
Okay.
will do the thing.
Merrin Voss is 4. Elder Corvos is the first one that you have, the first one who says pass.
Undecided.
He is undecided. Cell and Nebula 9 also pass. The Masters of Motion
Masters
also
of
pass.
Motion.
Guild of Fire. Where's Guild of Fire? Sorry. Against. The Bodyguards. Against. Watchers of the Sky. Pass. Brotherhood of Starships. 4. Now, the council opened the floor to discussion. Now, the question you all have to ask is, how can you persuade some of these people to move on? Now, a reminder of who they are. Keepers of Time, you know, they are the monks who are responsible for the history and also some sort of weird timey-wimey stuff, but more about that another time. Shadows of the Cloud are into computers and stuff. Masters of Motion, they control the transport networks around the planet. Guild of Fire, they control the energy facilities. The Bodyguards, they control medicine and medical developments. Watchers of the Sky, they are a sort of half religious, half scientific organisation. And the Brotherhood of Starships, well, they build starships.
It's going to be awkward. For
Well,
them.
they were pretty pro.
Yeah, why are they pro? I don't know. So,
They're cool new toys.
cool new toys straight away. Okay, now, the thing that is obvious for you guys is that if somebody is already voting for, you don't really need to concentrate on them, although it's probably a good idea to try and avoid alienating them.
Do the yellow things mean any?
The yellow thing means against. If I could have got enough red
okay.
things, I'd have used red things
So
instead.
the Guild of Fire, which they stood for what? What are they sort of?
Guild of Fire, they are energy.
What? So. What? Yeah. Okay. Well, they run energy.
They're the furnace people.
The first.
They run
They
things.
just want to see the world burn.
No.
No.
They're the
Kind
people
of.
who want to set up their solar panels and the nuclear reactors.
Okay, the Guild of Fire are kind of concerned about whether this will involve them having their ability to control the energy of their planet taken away.
Right.
Who would take it away from
Space. Space will take it away.
Right.
So does anyone want to try and
So, I
convince
mean-
them somehow?
Presumably they're guardians. Is this a situation where they know they have certain technology that they're aware of that other brotherhoods do not, and therefore they have a monopoly and they want to protect their monopoly?
Mm-hmm.
And I imagine that is also true of the bodyguards.
That could well be.
And
But you haven't talked to the bodyguards yet?
Well, I would posit that the captain would need to actually do the speaking simply because he's got the nice high.
Well, the captain can do the speaking, or the captain can send you to speak to any particular delegate that he wishes. By the way, you are in a convenient moment when you can talk to the delegates, obviously.
yeah,
I see.
yeah. You know, at morning tea time.
Thanks.
I would suggest. Okay, this is speaking on a meta level. I would suggest that the approach to use on the Brotherhood of Fire is that they can use the situation to wrangle concessions so that they continue to control the use of energy,
Don't celebrate their happiness.
and by actually having it that they can extend their monopoly onto the spaceship and hence space travel.
Okay, did you guys hear what Saxon suggested?
Yeah.
Okay.
An opportunity for dangle in front of them the idea that this is an opportunity to extend their monopoly into space.
Okay.
How did you do that?
What do you think would be an appropriate either skill to communicate, so you can communicate something of what you know, so something like engineering or something like that would be something there, or something like diplomacy or...
Well, I have a 3 in diplomacy, and I also have legal intuition, a +1 in diplomacy and formal arguments.
Ooh, which this very much is.
Yes.
Okay.
So if I go out and say what Saxon just said,
Yes, okay, go ahead. Roll on that.
Yes.
then I get 5.
Birdie. That's why we shouldn't let them in the country.
So which was it? This is the Guild of Fire you were speaking to.
Guild of Fire, guys controlling energy.
Yes. Birds.
Now,
There you go.
a side question.
We should ask the
When
bodyguards
they
what
say
their
they have
objection
a
is.
unanimous decision, does
Does that
that include yes from all 9 or simply yes from the ones who aren't abstaining?
Yes from all 9.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, is the aim here.
Okay.
But obviously, if you can get the ones who are currently saying no to say
Yeah,
will abstain,
they would be
that's an
one.
improvement.
I don't know.
So somebody going to talk to the bodyguards?
Well, I think this is time for a Captain's Federation speech.
Yes.
Great.
Okay, go ahead.
Can I talk to all of the delegates?
Absolutely.
Fantastic.
Excellent.
Shit.
Let's go to the laboratory.
Thanks, Saxon. Leave me now, right? Okay, and also I want to use diplomacy, obviously, with this.
Okay.
Do a Polini, and every sentence you always say the first word twice.
No, that sounds ridiculous.
We
who
are here.
We who are us.
I have a trouble
we.
aspect here. I'm going to read through this one, John. I've got a trouble aspect here of we're not leaving them. I don't want to leave this planet in more turmoil.
Absolutely.
Than what
Going for it.
It's okay, alright. So that'll give me some sort of, oh god, it nearly made an account. Some sort of bonus when I roll. I'll work
Yep,
it out
that's
later.
fine.
Alright.
Okay, so what are you going to say
What
to
am I
them?
going to say? What else? I was trying to jot down notes. I think it sounded better. All right, I'm just gonna go. How should I call it? Like planet-wise, or should I call them like? How do I address all?
Novaterrans.
Novaterrans. I speak on behalf of the Federation from the USS Tamworth, and when we say that as we visited your planet here, we found that there were walls not built by stone, but built by hardened hearts, that you have been divided by your history amongst each other, and that your leaders have been more interested in hurting one another rather than healing. We ask you now, like we do, to look to the stars, because our own history was filled of unrest and strife and troubles and miscommunication and wars and rumours of wars. But we ask you not to forget your past. Oh, good, come on. We ask you not to forget your past.
I should notice that when you said look to the stars, the Watchers
okay.
of the Sky delegate is
thank
yours.
God. All right. Yep. All right. Don't forget your past, but take upon the lessons that you have learned in this hurt that you have endured. We've asked that you seek to protect one, and I'll look at the bodyguards as I say this, protect one another in your common cause. We ask, do you have a shared purpose in all of this? Novatarians.
Territarians.
And if you have
Terry Towings.
a shared purpose,
Nations.
shared purpose, what is the purpose that you in fact share? Is it to build a better, brighter future? It will take courage. But us in the Federation, now I look to all my people, us in the Federation, we see this hope and this courage in you now to build a better world.
Wow, and everyone's standing up and clapping. Now at this point, the conductor Novus of the, by the way, I'm laughing because when I got the names from the ChatGPT, it actually gave me a pun for him. Novus is Esperanto for not going.
Oh.
Master of motion. But anyway, Novus says, the speech you gave was very noble and very heart-moving. And yet, it is clear that you know little about what has been happening in our planet. The question that I would ask is, what guarantees can we be given by the other brotherhoods that we in the Masters of Motion won't be left behind as everyone else prospers? How do we know that this is not going to cause a problem? At the same time, Dr. Janek says, and indeed, what consequences will this have for the health of our people? Is there anything that we don't even know about that could be entering our world? There are diseases on countless planets.
How do we know we're not going to see that happening here?
There are no guarantees, but you are better and stronger together than you are being apart. If you are fighting amongst yourselves, that will make you vulnerable to others. You need a unified front.
Take a roll on diplomacy.
Okay, oh no, 2,
She's an archfey.
maybe.
That does not help this day.
Probably doesn't.
Oh, it's a bloody warlock, of course it is.
How many fate points do you have left?
Will my character be an archfey?
Might be an archfey.
The bodyguards have withdrawn their complete objection, but it's
Okay.
not quite
But
enough
it's
for
not
them
blue.
to change.
We haven't gone to blue.
It'll be an
Conductor
archfey.
Nova, Conductor Novus is still not 100% convinced.
So which factions are left?
The factions that are left are the Shadows of the Cloud, with Tessel and Nebula 9, the Bodyguards with Janik, and the Masters of Motion with Novus. So the objection of the Bodyguards is they're worried about public health. The objection of the Masters of Motion is that they're concerned that they will be left behind when everyone else develops.
Mm-hmm.
And the concern of Shadows of the Cloud, you don't know because you haven't actually asked them.
We should try doing that.
To aid you in this healing process and
We promise you
reunification,
2 shiny beads.
we give you this gift. Number 1, tell them about the gift.
Oh, Jesus.
The gift is the medical database of the Federation.
The medical database of the Federation.
I was going to offer him something very similar.
You have now just put the bodyguards in your pocket.
Oh, bodyguards. Oh, they're doctors?
They're doctors, yeah.
Yeah.
They guard bodies in the most
Literal sense.
literal senses.
Okay. So you're now down to the Shadows of the Cloud and the Masters of Motion.
Shadows of the Cloud are your hacker dudes.
You hacker dudes.
Well, they're kind of money. They're more like money. dudes.
Except-
Yeah.
At this point, the Nebula 9 points out, says to Cell in a voice that is loud enough for you to hear, but Cell, it was the data transparency that was your greatest issue. Look what the Federation have done. At this point,
What have we done?
Cell puts his thumb up.
Okay, so that leaves the one
one
for
more.
which we haven't actually asked what their
No,
motivation
that was the one.
Oh, sorry.
Masters of Motion.
Masters of Motion are your last holdouts.
They're the ones which are worrying about being left behind when everybody...
They are the people responsible for transporting everybody around the planet. They know what it's like to be ignored and unappreciated.
Don't they already have
Bus
transporters?
drivers.
Are they?
They're bus drivers. Train drivers, bus drivers, plane drivers, those sorts of people.
What do they need?
In lack
To-
of something else, a variation that we
What
used
do
on
they
the
need
Masters of
Do
Fire.
they need
Basically,
2 days off a week or something?
Just give them a wrangle that they can
Just
have
give them the
some
rest.
sort of,
The starships
monopoly
that
on
Terra
them.
Nova's going to build,
Just
Nova
give them
Terra's going to
transporter
build,
tech.
Is
They-
it
are
they
going to
do
need
transport.
pilots.
Just give them transporter tech, because technically this planet's already invented it. They just
Sorry,
haven't
what did you
figured it
just
out.
say?
The starships, the fleets of starships that Nova Terra is going to build is going to need pilots, and who better to pilot them than the Masters of Motion?
You can see straight away that you have scored a hit on Rel Novus. He is liking that idea, but he is not quite ready to sign on the dotted line just yet.
Well, again, we can dangle the idea in front of them that they can get a monopoly through this.
Transporter tech.
Transporters, eh?
Well, there
so
are.
what do they, what do they
remember,
need
there
to,
is a brotherhood of starships.
what-
Okay.
Oh, well, it's
Okay.
alright, it's worked anyway.
Good, good.
At this
Yeah,
point,
but they're starship builders, not
at this point, the
what is
Elder
it?
Corvus,
They need pilots.
Elder
Pilots.
Corvus, who is the
ships for starships.
Jaegers. Jaegers.
Elder Corvus, who as the oldest member of the council functions as a sort of chairman,
The
says
starships will need pilots.
it is now time for
Versus
the
motion
question to be put.
pilots.
Right.
One at a time.
As we talk through the entire conference.
I'm just trying to work out what they need. Here.
It's all right. It's done
Okay,
now.
we're done. Okay.
As you look around the room, all the hands go up, and they say,
No,
"Indeed,
not that one.
the Project Concordia shall continue."
No higher than this.
But this time, instead of it being a secret to the people of Nova Terra, it shall be something that will be known to all. And we would like to give our thanks to the people of the Federation for their help in making this happen. We would love for you to help us work out the problems with our warp ship, and we would be honoured if you would be our guests as we take our first trip into the cosmos.
And then the Ewok theme song.
Several weeks later,
No, I'm looking at it.
The old one or the new one?
I'll bring mine next.
Okay.
Well,
There's
actually,
more than one.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, this will be such a climax for our ship
They
just
replaced
before
the
it gets
Ewoks on
decommissioned.
in one of Lucas's remakes.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, the
Really
latest song.
terrible.
Yeah, it is. It's a weird song.
What's happened?
When
Just
they
like
replaced the
history.
Ewok song, the Ewok victory song.
They've replaced
Yeah,
that
no.
now?
Yeah.
No, it's
No,
been
it's
right.
ages ago.
I missed that one.
Yeah.
I think
It's
I did.
terrible, considering how good the first one was.
The first one was great. Nub nub.
I hated Nub Yub Nub, but anyway.
Yub nub.
You jab- no, no.
Well, it suited the culture, so yeah.
Okay. Anyway, a few weeks later,
I just remember jabbing
as we have, as we you are all guests either on board the ship or watching from a space station as the Starship Concordia 2 takes its first warp jump and this time successfully warps back. There are still problems on the planet Nova Terra, but they are to be faced with hope. There are still members of the Broken Unity who still have problems with the new reality, as they will always be. However, you have succeeded in helping them to take their next step in their society's evolution. Now, as the captain,
Oh, there we go.
Captain's log.
Captain's log.
Captain's log. Dum dum.
Captain's log. Supplemental. Stardate 52714.3. The Council of Nine has voted unanimously to rekindle Project Concordia. Nova Terra will once again reach for the stars. Though fractured by history and ideology, these brotherhoods chose unity over fear and possibility over suspicion. Perhaps they learned it from us. Perhaps we learned it from them. The Tamworth will soon depart Nova Terra, bound for Earth and final decommissioning. She has served as more than a ship. She was a witness to first contact, to sabotage, to sacrifice, and to reconciliation.
What happens to the potato monster in the Narsals?
I suspect we will be telling the story of this crew for years to come. For now, I intend to enjoy a slow return journey. We've earned quite a few stars.
the USS Tamworth cruises serenely through the tunnel of warp space. In 7 forward, laughter rises from junior officers' tables. Commander Tangaroa and Lieutenant Neves quietly debate theories about Nova Terra's future political evolution. In the lounge, Lomax runs a diagnostic on a phaser that, thankfully, probably won't be needed again. The crew is relaxed. The stars streak past. In engineering, a subtle hum vibrates through the deck. Everything is working. Everything is calm.
Yes, that's
Then-
I'm insane.
A sharp
There is a
jolt.
disturbance in the force.
A tremor ripples through the hull. Lights flicker. Bridge to engineering. Did we drop out of warp? Sir, I don't know. I'm reading graviton distortion massive at... Gravity lurches. The warp field collapses.
Oh, God.
A frozen expanse fills the main view screen.
Right.
Collision alert! Brace for impact! Cut to black.
Plop.
We're going to hit something.
Okay.
What happened? We got sacked out of hyperspace.
Yeah, and now we're going to smash into something. Hold around.
Now, This, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of this particular.
Oh, an interdictor cruiser.
This is the end of our adventure. So, for that reason, could I please have everyone bring their fate points to me? Because next time your fate points will reset.
No, more
So,
fate.
more fate.
Fate. He stole that word. You
And this
will not
time-
be forgiven.
You guys actually tackled that at pretty much the optimal pace. Thank you very much.
That was on drugs.
Purely by accident.
We could hassle Urban about that and say it's obviously him that's the problem.
No.
I would not touch that little barge.
And there's not many places where Peter won't go.
No, we've discovered it.
I would never say that to Urban.
Why I will never play his character.
Don't say that.
This is all being recorded.
His character is great. Oh, I think I found all the captain's logs. I better put his captain's log in here. He'll want to. He collects them apparently.
A collection of captain's
Yes,
logs.
there are. There is a literal collection of captain's logs. I'm going to just log it in there.
Log it with the logs.
That's what you get in the captain's privy.
A collection of captain's logs. Oh dear, there had to be somebody saying that, didn't there?
No.
Why would you collect them?
Because he has a litter box. so he can collect.
Oh, dude, no.
He would. He's going to go. He's going to die.
I would really love to have never heard that. But anyway, can I please have all the dice?
Let's stop it.
Why do
Stop
you keep
yelling,
saying
dick.
that? Because he said the rebel was dick.
Theory, man.
God, his trigger words.
I'm sorry.
So Dave,
My
will you
fault
be
entirely.
ready for D&D in 2 weeks?
In 2 weeks. I'm just checking when I'm away because I am away.
What
So.
are you like?
Yeah.
But it won't be in 2 weeks. What's today? Today's the 14th. So 2 weeks henceforth will be the 28th of May. And there will be at least 28 days in May. Because all the months have at least 28 days.
So what days are you away?
That's why I'm looking up. Jesus Christ!
Why do you ask questions?
Not that time. It'll be, but 2 weeks after that, I'll be away.
So there's a gap week, is there?
Yeah. So I mean, we could just because we all, as we often do. I guess we'll just.
Characters.
You know how we often do a.
Board game or something.
Yeah, you know how we often break up. You know, intersperse the role playing
Yes.
sessions with something else.
Not through choice.
Not through choice.
Necessity.
Can somebody please pass over the red thingy in the middle of it?
What are you trying to say?
Thank you.
I have no idea.
I'm away on the 11th of June.
The 11th of June. So will I. I will also be away on the 11th of June.
I suggest we don't play your game then.
Yeah, I suggest that as well. So in other words, 2 weeks from
Unless
now.
we were to meet by Zoom.
2 weeks from now,
Or whatever you
potentially
call it.
we could start
Keep on the borderlands.
keep on the Borderlands, or we could just do a board game night, and then 2 weeks after that we won't be doing anything. At least me and Ray won't be, and then 2 weeks after that we can then start keep on the Borderlands.
Okay.
Which
I
What
don't-
is most convenient for you?
What would work for you, Dave?
probably the latter, but maybe I can just call it closer to the date when I. I think I'm reasonably prepped. I have to look through. I mean, it's a module, so that sort of helps.
Yes.
Um,
A question: are we using the same game that we used from Night's Dark Terror, or are we doing new characters?
I think we'll just keep with the old characters,
Okay.
even though they're a little overpowered for keep on the Borderlands. I think we can adjust.
Okay. In that case, the option of doing a session 0 for character creation is moot.
Yeah. So otherwise, we would do a session 0. Yeah. Let me read through. I'll have a read through the module and make a decision about
Okay.
whether. But how do you guys feel? Would you guys feel robbed if you have to roll up new characters? You're all feeling okay.
I'm happy
with
either
that?
way.
I don't want to hear a different story later.
We
You
have
shall
our
not.
third one, I'm happy with it.
David, he makes us roll new characters every time he plays
Every
with you.
freaking time.
Is that because you need level 1 characters?
I don't need them. I just feel like you might be because you're all level 4 and 5 and stuff now.
He
aren't
thinks that when the poor goblin comes in, it'll just get turned into big.
I think you're mostly 5th level. I think at this point.
I don't
I
remember.
think you might be right.
Yeah, I'll have a look. You might be a little overpowered for,
Shouldn't we have
but it is a pretty relentless
the
dungeon
character
bash.
sheets here?
You'll get worn down eventually by the hordes of kobolds.
I know my sheet's in.
Not by the first kobold though.
I really have to clean out. We never throw anything out.
No,
we just
we
add
don't.
shit to this.
That's
these
why I
folders.
keep telling you to throw
And we
stuff
never-
away.
Here we go. I found his. He is 3rd level.
What?
That seems low.
Third level.
That doesn't seem right.
No, that's what
Third
Urban's
level.
got here.
Urban is 3rd level.
It might be a
You
problem
guys all
with version control.
started at 3rd
Could
level.
you,
No, we didn't. We
Could you
started
unplug the
first.
PowerPoint?
No, you
for
did
me,
not.
please?
No,
We
you did
I'm
not.
pretty sure we did.
You
Excellent,
did
thank you.
not.
Much
We
appreciated.
did. We leveled up as we went along.
The game, the game we ran, Nightstar Terror, was designed for characters starting at 3rd level, 3rd or 4th level. So I think I started you all at 3rd level, is my recollection.
Find my
I think that sounds
character.
And you've definitely all leveled up at least
Well,
once over the course of
Urban
Nightstar
has it.
Terror. Yeah,
Might
but
be that that's an old sheet.
That's because when everyone else was leveling up, Urban was just sitting there not following what was going
Urban
on.
wouldn't do that.
No, he wouldn't.
What are you trying to say?
Why would you say that about Urban?
But then he did. Then I sort of
Good Rolfin, that's the one win.
he may not have updated his level on his character
Dungeons
sheet.
and Dragons character record sheet. Peter Fighter. I think this is it.
Your name is
Yeah,
not
so-
Peter Fighter.
Is that
Which
the
is
character?
yeah, that's it.
Fighter
Third.
device.
Look at that, 3rd level.
Yeah, 3rd level. What's going on?
Thank
I'm
you.
very
No,
confused.
you can
Oh,
apologise
hang on.
anytime you
Hang
want.
on.
Anytime
I have
you
all
want.
your character sheets at home. So these might be older
They're
ones.
all character sheets.
Don't say that. Now you're going to doctor up character sheets all in our own handwriting. This is what's going to take you weeks.
I wonder. I think I probably encouraged you all to throw them away, and of course none of you did. And then this happened because this is the shit that always happens.
This is a disaster.
And it's always good to know what
I
happens.
always tell you it'll be a disaster. It's a disaster. I've had enough of it. That's enough.
If only
Gee,
that,
somebody's been teaching kindergarten kids today.
if only that happened more.
It's gone now. Stop it. It was never any good. I get it.
I'm doing her.
See you later.
So yeah, no.
Oh, there was one quick. Actually,
I'm
before
pretty
you go,
sure that I've got all your
One-
character sheets.
one actual practical question. When we move to
I don't know why that was funny.
This is all being recorded. Yes, you were going to say.
I was going to ask, when we move back to Dungeons and Dragons, whenever that happens, do we move to your place?
Yes,
Okay.
Oh,
yes, we do. Even though I've got a smaller table, we'll survive.
oh. I don't know how many times we're going to rewatch that, but it'll be a few.
Where are we going to be playing board games here?
We could do either, I guess.
We can work that out when we know how many board games weeks we're doing. Sorry.
Presumably only one. Well, one with
Two.
me. Anyway, yeah.
So, does anybody need lifts?
Oh shit, maybe. No, Jono can give me a lift.
I need better.
I can
If Jono's cool, give me a lift.
John is cool with that.
See you guys.
Thank you.
Catch you.
Yeah, I've definitely got. I'll look when I get home, but I'm pretty sure all the character sheets I've just kept with the other stuff in that folder, and it's on my shelf at home.
Mm.
And so presume I didn't even know you had those ones. So obviously we had an earlier version.
I bet you don't find them. I bet they're out. You think you have.
These guys definitely leveled up. Jono definitely leveled up to at least 5th level as a thief. He absolutely did because he started at 3rd.
No.
I remember doing that,
What do
so
you
I can back that up.
He thinks he's fifth level. Do you think you're fifth level?
No, I don't know what
Wait.
I am.
You definitely went to 4th level because at 4th level, under the expert set, you got the ability
Probably
to use lance combat and set a spear. Remember? I remember you looking at
I
the
don't
rule.
remember. I vaguely recall this, but I don't think I ever used those skills.
No, you haven't used them yet, but you have the ability to use them.
Not if you pinch my character and both of you roll up a new one.
Oh, now it comes out.
Okay.
You don't get to save up resentment. You
It
either
may
have
be
it or you
perhaps been a
don't.
time to
No,
actually.
no, he can save it in spades.
You can't say what's fine one week and then it's not the next.
What the next
Who says he can't?
That's his whole life. What do you say? You can't say that. That's all he does.
You stole our woe!
By the way, I did mean to ask you guys, how did the game with the bridge go?
So,
It was fun.
Did it happen like history, or?
yes, it was good.
Okay, turning off now.